Alright, welcome everyone to my review of the PlayStation 5. First, I'm going to start off with I grabbed the wrong controller, with the PS5 controller. I could talk for hours about this controller. This controller was actually probably the main, maybe not the main, but a huge reason why I actually got the PS5. The biggest thing for me is actually the adaptive triggers they put into the controller and the haptic feedback. If you don't know what haptic feedback is, it basically means you can feel like terrain and things like that in the controller when you're playing games, and that's a huge thing for me. And so real quick, I'm going to show you guys what adaptive triggers like really are and what they actually mean. Here, I'll show you guys real quick. So basically, adaptive triggers, it makes it so you feel resistance when you push the triggers. You see how it's thrusting like that. So like when you're playing Call of Duty or something, you can feel resistance when you pull the trigger, like when you're shooting a gun or whatever. And so that's a really cool experience. And yeah, that's the big thing about the triggers real quick. All right, ignore the noises because ignore the noise it's gonna make, but the controller also has a motion sensor inside of it, which is also pretty cool. So I just wanted to show you guys that quick. All right, one more thing I forgot to add in about the controller is I don't know if you can see it, but they added a built-in microphone to the controller, which is really nice. You don't have to spend the money on a microphone if you don't want to. Obviously, it's nicer to have one, but the controller mic actually doesn't sound that bad. Like I had my friends like I used it and I had them test it out and see if it sounded good or not, and they said it sounds fine. So that's another big thing. There's a mute button too right there, so that's a really huge nice add-on that they put into the controller. All right, so the next thing I wanted to show you guys was load times between, like, the difference between PS4 and PS5. I went back to PS4 and tested it. I had a stopwatch and I tested how long it took to load up the game and get into a lobby. And on the PS4, it took me 1 minute and 39 seconds. And on the PS5, it took me 22.88 seconds to get to playing. So that just goes to show how crazy the load times are from I guess it's current gen to next gen. So that's huge. That's a really big thing for me. I don't want to spend, because there's one game I used to play on PS4 where it took like 5 minutes just to get through the first loading screen, and now that we don't have to experience that anymore, and that's big. I want to get into the final, not the final. I got to get the last. Okay, so all this stuff so far has been good, but I got to get into the two things that bother me with the PlayStation. Well, they don't really bother me, but they're red flags for some people. So let's get into that. All right, so getting into the flaws. One issue that can come with the PS5 is actually storage. The console comes with 825 gigabytes of storage, and only 667.2 gigabytes of that is actually usable when it comes to like downloading games and apps and things like that. This isn't much of a problem for me personally because I only play a few games as it is. But I know for people who play Call of Duty, you guys know that game is actually like hundreds of gigabytes. So that can be a problem for you guys, the small amount of storage. And the reason why I said it's a problem is because compared to the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series X comes with a terabyte of storage, and 802 gigabytes of that is usable for downloading games. So obviously that's like a 140 gigabyte difference. And obviously you can get external storage, but it would be nice not to have to pay for that stuff. And again, for me, it's not an issue. For me personally, it's not a flaw, it's not a problem. But I know for some people that can be an issue. So yeah, flaw 1, storage. And now let's get into flaw 2. Alright, so now the last flaw with the the second flaw, I guess, with the PS5. It makes a little bit of noise when you start it up, so I'm just going to start it and let you guys listen. It stops at some point, I promise. Alright, so there's the noise it makes. It sometimes it can sound like a fighter jet getting ready for takeoff. So that can be annoying to some people. And like after that right there, it's pretty much silent. Every now and then it'll make noise to like because the fans will start running again to cool it off. But yeah, so that that starting noise can get a little bit annoying. But yeah, that's that. All right, so now it's time for the rating. I've had my PS5 for about a month now, and I absolutely love it. I have nothing but good things to say. Obviously, I came up with some flaws, but I really had to like come up with those because, like I said, they aren't personal flaws in my opinion. I don't think they're bad. The storage, like I said, doesn't really bother me. I don't need that much storage as it is, and the 30 to what was it like? I just stuttered my head off. What was it like? 30 seconds or whatever of that noise. I mean that's fine. It is what it is. My Xbox was really loud, so I can't complain. Like I said, for 30 seconds of that and then just silent gaming otherwise, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love my PS5, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I really am. I've said this like 12 times now, but those two things aren't really issues for me. But I have to account for them. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my PS5 review. I will see you guys later.